Welcome to episode 5 of Muscle Cars and Hot Rods. I'm Jeff LeClaire. We're going to jump right in this morning and show you how to do a quick refinish on the 69 Mustang trunk. Okay, here's the before for the 69 Mustang trunk. It came factory gold in 69. Seems how we went with a color change on the car. I'm going to go ahead and dust in some base coat to give it that appearance that it's a factory green car. The reason I'm going to do base coating is because we're not really going crazy on the trunk restoration, but we want something that's affordable enough to trick the eye. In addition to that, we're going to put a tank armor shield over the gas tank. The gas tank, as many of you know, in Fords, is the trunk of the car. So what tank armor is going to do is provide a nice sheet of steel to cover that tank. It'll give it less exposure, and we won't have raw fuel in the passenger compartment. So I've just blown the trunk out really quick and really well with a lot of high pressure air. Right now I'm going to remove the wiring harness from the trunk and just kind of tuck it down into the quarter panel and scrub it real good with some red Scotch-Brite to get any dirt that I can knock up off the surface, and then I'll re-blow it. Now that everything's been scrubbed down just real quick with a Scotch-Brite to clean up any loose dirt and blown out, I will begin masking it. I will throw a coat of primer down, and I will get some seam sealer and just kind of fill the little areas where the seam sealer is blown out. Remember, all I'm doing now is creating the illusion that I've restored the trunk. If this had been an actual trunk restoration, I would have removed the gas tank, had that sent out to a shop, and had it boiled out. I would have, in addition to that, I would have taken a 4-inch grinder and a wire wheel, and I would have removed all of that factory oil-based seam sealer. In addition to that, I'd probably treat the rust and kind of clean up where the factory sound deadening goes. I would have removed these springs, sandblasted them, probably replaced the pin and the hinge, and everything would have been done up with 2 coats of clear, base coat. It would have looked good. Perhaps that's a project for somewhere down the road. We're just looking to, you know, beautify the family heirloom. Give it another 10, 15 years. Not do a complete rotisserie restoration on it. Okay, I've masked off the car. I've shot down a couple of coats of a sealer, like a primer sealer, and then I've gone through and shot in a sprayable seam sealer. I'll give you a view of that. Right from this point, I'll be ready to throw a couple coats of base coat down and give it that coloring that I need. With that base coat being there, it's not going to be strong enough to be on the surface alone, so I'm going to add a touch of hardener to it and some clear coat, ready to shoot clear coat, and I'm talking just a little bit. I don't want to create a huge mess, but I want to seal up that base coat. Here's a look of what that seam sealer looks like, that sprayable seam sealer, and I just went ahead and sprayed that over all the existing factory seam sealer. That'll help give it a reseal, and it'll help to hide any of the old oil-based seam sealer that fell off there over the course of the years. There it is, a simple yet effective way to rejuvenate an old trunk. Nice and green. It's got a little shine to it still. It'll dull up as it dries. Okay, in addition to the green in the trunk, we've got the mats, the new vinyl mats sitting out in the sun. I'll go ahead and work these throughout the day to conform them nicely to both the spare tire and the trunk. Here's all the trunk silver. This is all the plated metal. You could go ahead and take all the plastic off this and ship it out and have it replated, but I'm just going to scrub it up with some degreaser. In addition to that, tank armor just showed up. How funny that we're building the trunk and here comes tank armor. So that's the company right there. And let's go ahead and take a look at what they shipped us. Okay, this is tank armor. It's just sitting in there now. I went ahead and drilled out a bunch of quarter-inch holes. They're going to put quarter by 1 inch in there with nylox and washers. And there it is. Oh yeah, up here on this top left corner. Be careful not to hit the gas line. Hey gang, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up episode 5 right there. In the future, look for me to finish off installing tank armor. I'll get that vinyl mat in there, get the spare tire and jack and everything installed. I'm waiting on a little bit of trim to come in so I can get the lights and everything finished. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hey, I just wanted to say thanks to RacingJunk.com for picking up the introductory video to this series. We're getting a lot of hits off you guys, and hey, I appreciate it.